How's it going, guys? Long time no see. Desert Monk here again. Been a little busy working, um, but just trying to keep one foot in front of the other, not to get too ahead of myself. It's been getting warm out here in the desert, and I thought that'd be a good time to kind of go over a new topic, and that is the mirage of fast results. And I guess the first thing to get started with there would be, what is a mirage? A mirage is a trick of the eye, a trick of the light that makes you think there's a oasis nearby when you are stranded in the desert looking for salvation. And I've noticed that in life, there's the mirage of fast results. Um, Everyone is sprinting towards their goals, or at least trying to get there, at their own pace. But the issue is this mirage that's been in our face for quite a while. I mean, a lot of it comes from social media and comparing yourself to other people. And you'll see someone your same age or in a similar field to you, and they're just so far ahead of where you are that you start wondering why. And you start looking for quick fixes that don't exist. That's the problem. And that's why it's a mirage. Is you'll see, especially in fitness and lifestyle culture, these 6-week transformation plans, or this one supplement that you need that'll get you to your goal in no time, and these aren't real. In a real mirage, you're going to see that oasis and you're going to run over there. You're going to sprint to your goal, and once you get to that point that you thought was going to be your salvation, you'll realize it's just more desert, more heat, more struggle. But you wasted so much energy getting to that point, right? You sprinted over there, so you burnt more energy, you exhausted yourself, to realize that you're no closer to your goal than you would have been if you had walked, because that result wasn't real. You can't rush life. You just can't. You'll end up paying for it. The problem with sprinting towards a goal is you end up missing important lessons along the way. You're so fixated on the end that you missed 5 bits of information that could have helped you get further along in your journey. You can't just, if you fast forward to the end, everything along the way was lost. There's that saying, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And that's very true. There is a lot that can be taken out of life to teach you something, and if you aren't open to receiving that information, you're going to be no further along than you were. You need this information to propel you forward, prepare you for the next task. So if you try to rush, that's where it's going to lead you. It would be as if I was building a home gym for work, and instead of getting all the frames bolted in together, I started worrying about the accessory racks of where you would hang resistance bands or something like that. Like, that would be the very last thing you'd want to do. Like, you get the frame set up, you run the cables, all the essential things have to come first, you know. So it would basically be like trying to build something, but you started with the last step instead of the first step. That's what these quick fixes are. And you're never going to get anything out of that. You can't expect to bully your problems and force them to go your way by rushing everything. You have to adapt to the current situation you're in. And there's just no getting around that. I know that that's not the easiest thing to hear sometimes, you know? You wish certain things could just be over and done with, but you have to reframe your mind to realize that the steps along the way are what's going to make you a better person. And maybe even teach you how to avoid that situation altogether the next time around. Whereas if you were in a rush, you're going to get none of that information. So it's good to slow down and read the directions of life before you get caught up in a mirage that's going to lead you nowhere, and you're just going to end up more tired, more confused, right? You're essentially giving yourself emotional heat stroke by putting all your eggs in the basket of this quick fix. Because what happens when that 6-week program doesn't change your physique like you anticipated? You're going to throw your hands up in the air and be like, nothing works for me. Why is it so hard to do this? And you're going to feel like you wasted time, when if you went at a slower pace, gradual progress, that same time you put into the quick fix could have been put into that, doing it the right way, and you'd have been further along than even chasing the dragon of quick results, you know. And just be on the lookout for these things. You'll see all these fat burners and diet suppressants and new weird exercises that these people swear by, but you got to realize they're getting a cut. You know, it's in their best interest to promote these things because that's how they're making a living, is by getting other people to believe in this thing that they probably know doesn't work, but it's too late because you already bought it and you're no further along. So I guess that is my main point, is just take it slow. I've said this in many videos, but it really is the way to go. You can't rush your life. You just can't do it and expect good results. I mean, you could do it, but very rarely does that work out. You need to set the foundation of what your goals are before you start worrying about the second floor. Um, so stop looking at the horizon line. You want to look down at your feet. It's going to keep you humble. And at the end of the day, the only thing that's real is the step you're taking right now towards your goals. Don't worry about the end, what it's going to look like when you have success, because it's not there yet. It's not real. You're looking at a mirage, and the only way to get to that success is one step in front of the other. So take it slow. Don't tire yourself out with quick fixes, and I promise you guys you'll get a lot more results that way. So I'll leave you with that. One step in front of the other. I'm the Desert Monk, and I will see you guys in the next round.